Fred Richani of the Sports Courier, TSC News. We have right here via Zoom a very special guest. She is the Director of U.S. Creative Partnerships at Google. She's here to talk about Super Sunday and the epic AdBlitz. We're talking to Sadie Thoma of Google. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing all right. A little cold here in the New York area. Been a lot of snow, but enjoyed the Super Bowl. Certainly enjoyed the ads. And this ad blitz been going on for a few years now. Now I'm old enough to remember when a lot of sports leagues, a lot of companies were like, what's this YouTube thing? Fast forward a decade later, not only is YouTube popping, you have YouTube TV, which I'm subscribed to as well. And it has become like the number one destination for Super Bowl commercials. Can you just give us an idea of how crazy your Super Sunday was?
Yes. Well, interestingly, actually, YouTube was ranked the number one platform for sports by sports fans. So it's actually a year-round destination. But of course, during the Super Bowl, we see a lot of activity, not just for people seeking to see more about the game or highlights or whatever it might be from the sports perspective, but as you say, from the ads. People want to see the ads. People may have missed an ad if they were out getting, in the kitchen getting nachos or whatever they were doing. So we have every single ad from the game, all the teasers up on youtube.com/adblitz. So if you missed any of them, you can check them all out today so you can talk about them even more. But we see a lot of activity of people watching, people sharing, and a lot of big brands, of course, stepping up to the plate to see, what they can accomplish and how they can get people excited around their brands this year.
Absolutely. And there were some great ads. I mean, my personal favorite was the quote unquote band ad with Gronk and Tom Brady with the T-Mobile commercial. As a wrestling fan, I love John Cena with Mountain Dew. Was there one that was your favorite?
I liked a bunch of them, and I love humor in these types of ads because I feel as if, Super Bowl is a moment of escapism a little bit, a chance for us to just sort of kick back and have a little levity. So for me, I really appreciated the humor ads, such as, I love Will Ferrell, so I love the GM EV ads. The top ad that we saw actually on YouTube, the number one most viewed ad is I liked it too, which was the Amazon Alexa's body ad with Michael B. Jordan. So that got a lot of positive acclaim. Also within the top three was, which I thought was also very funny, was Cadillac with Edgar Scissorhands driving scissor hands free in the new lyric. So I thought that was very cleverly done. And of course, a little nostalgia is always fun to see. And there was many other, Tracy Jordan was hysterical with Rocket Mortgage. So there was a lot of ones that made me smile. And I appreciate those. I also do appreciate the more poignant. The number two most watched ad was Jeep, the middle, which featured Bruce Springsteen, the boss. And that was obviously a message around reuniting the country. So different tone. So we see advertisers take on all different, spans of how to approach it.
Yeah, and certainly a lot of different tones this year. I mean, I interviewed Tara Walpert-Levy last year about AdBlitz, and it was an exciting time. Who knew that within just a month, our whole lives would change? Now, from a business perspective and advertising perspective, maybe in terms of vetting or how much ad inventory you got this year, was there a big change from 2021 to 2020, given everything that's been going on?
It was approximately the same, actually. So we saw approximately the same amount of activity within AdBlitz. And as you may know, just because someone runs an ad in the game, they obviously look to run it on AdBlitz and surround it on YouTube, but you don't have to run an ad in the game to also put it on AdBlitz and try to get some activity. So we did also see some advertisers that may not have had a big game ad on TV, but, made sure to get the message out online in different ways to be clever and kind of surround. So you see different strategies and different playbooks for how to try to get capture people's attention around such an important moment where people are seeking out ads and are searching and sharing and talking about them.
Every year there's some type of wacky trend with the Super Bowl. I think I remember a few years ago, there was the shark that was trending. We had a quote unquote streaker this game, whether it was part of the show or not. Is there one wacky trend you could tell us about that you saw that made you think, this is interesting here?
There wasn't a wacky trend per se, but there was certainly, queries and questions around the state of where we are. Cardboard cutouts was a big rising trend. People were, seeking information about that. How many fans are allowed at the Super Bowl? We saw a big spike for that search, over 5,000%. so sort of taking into account the situation that we're in, of course, which is a unique one for sure for sports as a whole. And then also, we saw a lot of trends around who is the female ref in the NFL, which was great to see. Of course, Sadie Thomas, the first female Super Bowl ref, people were interested. That spiked over 2,000% in the first half. So, searches around sort of like, what's going on with the stadium in terms of just the environment we live in, searches around first female ref, searches around the players, which that's not new news, but we always see a lot of heavy activity around the players. Tom Brady being the number one search player, of course, the GOAT. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes. Number 3, the Gronk, as you mentioned, the T-Mobile ad with Gronk, and Tom Brady was very funny. I like that one too. So, we see a lot of activity, people searching and questioning things that are going on. There was a question that was trending quite a bit. Why is the Super Bowl delayed? Which may be in reference to the fan who ran on the field. And so, there's always going to be something, but people sit there and watch the game with their mobile phone in their hands so that they're ready to search whenever they've got a question. That's for sure.
And Super Sunday, Super Week was obviously very busy for you, but what's a day in the life like of Sadie?
Oh, a day in the life for me. Gosh, well, I get up and I do the Peloton every morning. That's what's keeping me sane these days. And then a day at work is honestly, my team is amazing. We partner with the biggest brands and the biggest agencies across the country to help them to think about how to put their messages on our platforms in a creative and an effective way. So how do you best use YouTube creatively? How do you think about, how your message will resonate based on your goals? Well, who is your audience? How do you learn from what you're putting out there? So we're really sort of creative effectiveness kind of consultants for marketers. And I love what I do. And it's a lot of fun.
That's fantastic. Now, I know there's not one necessarily blanket piece of advice you could give advertisers or prospective advertisers regarding advertising on the YouTube platform. But is there a suggestion you could give? Because a lot of times, we see ads that the Super Bowl, super creative. It's awesome. But other times we see ads that, look like ads. And these days it's a lot harder to compete for eyeballs, to get people to not click on that skip ad button. What's one suggestion you would give any prospective advertisers looking to advertise on YouTube for the big game and beyond?
Yeah. I would just say seek authentic connection, meaning understand the audience. What do they care about? What are the insights you can garner on who they are? Just meaning what moves them, what might be interesting to them, so that your message shows up and it meets a need. It really does connect versus feeling intrusive in any way. So, we really encourage people to figure out how they can authentically understand the insights of their audience. And then biggest headline, learn, test and learn. So you put something out there and you learn from it. It's one thing in the past where you would run an ad on TV or wherever it was, and you kind of put it out there and just let it go. Now we have the ability on YouTube and digital platforms at whole to learn from the work that's in the market and understand what's working, what's not, what are people responding to, where are they skipping, where are they not. And you can learn a lot from just the analytics and combining the data with the creativity and the insights. And that's what we really love to do. And that's what we love to see more and more brands do is really test and learn and continue to up the game and continue to write the new playbook for, how to be an effective marketer these days.
Well, if you want to check out all the ads, you can visit youtube.com/adblitz. It is awesome. If you're a brand that participates in this, great. If you're not, you can see what you're missing. And if you're a fan, there's some great commercials here. Before I let you go, where can fans find you online? And bonus question, were there people in the Google office more happy or sad at the Super Bowl result?
At the Super Bowl result, you meaning as the Tampa Bay winning?
Yeah.
You know what? It was mixed. It was certainly mixed. It is mixed. I think it's mixed. For me personally, I'm a New Yorker as you are too. So of course we didn't see the Giants or the Jets this year show up really. So we're waiting for next year. So I think it was mixed. There's a lot of Tom Brady fans, of course, out there. There's a lot of Patrick Mahomes fans too. So, there's some people are happy, some people are not. And where you can find me on Twitter, it's Sadie Thoma, SADIETHOMA, and on LinkedIn as well. So would love to connect. And I'm always trying to post about trends we're seeing or ads that we think are interesting. So stay tuned.
Sadie, thanks so much. Can't wait to chat with you next year with the AdBlitz, hopefully with a lot more fans safely in attendance.
Agreed. Thank you so much for having me.